to Something for the Weekend with me, Stephen Day.
Me, Fiona Scott.
Me, Kathy Griffiths.
And me, Ellis Butcher.
Hello everyone, how are you all?
Feeling fine.
Fine and dandy.
Come on, Ellis.
Ellis isn't saying anything.
I'm maintaining my silence about the lockdown.
Oh,
Keeping my thoughts to myself about the lockdown.
Are you getting fed up, Ellis?
Been climbing the walls.
Oh.
Well, Ellis, how high can you go? Because it's the weekend. You're going to be climbing the walls and the ceiling.
I'm going to go and have a bounce on my own bed.
Okay, well, we're suitably setting the tone for this weekend stuff, so we know what Ellis is going to be doing, bouncing on the bed. Kathy, what are you up to this weekend?
Well, I've got 3 beetroots.
I'm almost scared to ask. Does this mean you're going to be cooking again, Cathy?
Yes, it does. Now, because I've had almost sort of fresh fruit and veg and everything delivered, which is absolutely fantastic. But you don't always know what you're going to get in the box. So this week's sort of surprise element was the 3 beetroot. So I don't know. It could make soup. The sun's gone in, so maybe I should make some kind of soup, or I could make beetroot chips, or chocolate cake with beetroot in. Apparently, it makes it really nice and moist.
Mm. Do you have beetroot chips with beetroot?
Yeah, you can make chips out of beetroot.
Yeah, but the only beetroot I know is the stuff that comes out of a Baxter's jar, and I quite like chips and beetroot, but that's Baxter's beetroot. So would you have beetroot chips with Baxter's beetroot?
Well, you wouldn't want to double up on your beetroot, would you?
Like double denim.
Double beetroot.
Double denim, you just don't do it.
So I've got these 3 beetroots. So hopefully that's going to sort of keep me a little bit busy this weekend. Not quite sure what the weather's going to do. It's a bit miserable today. I'm hoping the sun might come out at some point, but I'm just going to get out for my daily exercise and do a bit of fresh air. Might take a little safe dip or paddle. I've got to say the weather was so gorgeous last weekend when I was taking my daily exercise, walking along Seal Beach, that I did just stop for a couple of minutes. And, I've been talking about giving myself a spa weekend. Well, the nearest I got to it was just trying to pile a load of hot rocks, like the slates on the beach at Seal. Just tried to pile a load of hot rocks on me and think I was in some lovely pampering spa somewhere very briefly. But you know what? It was so nice feeling that heat. And I think, that good weather has really helped a lot of people, hasn't it, over the last few weeks, if you've been lucky enough to get outside in it. So I'm sort of hoping that the rain's going to pass and the sun might come out at some stage and, make us all feel good.
Can I just ask our listeners, please don't go all rushing to the beach this weekend to pile rocks on top of yourself. It could end in disaster.
Yeah.
Could I ask them?
Don't come to Seal. I don't want to be responsible for a load of people heading to Seal. Stay at home.
I think
stay safe.
The other thing to say is don't rush out and pile rocks on Cathy either.
No.
She's going to look like a cairn, Cathy.
Can. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I was going to say that's something else. Maybe I could build a little cairn somewhere, but you're not supposed to loiter. You're supposed to keep moving. That's the idea, isn't it? They don't want you to stop and have a sneaky picnic. That wouldn't be great. I know the police were out at Ganovan this week, and they sort of approached a family who were having a little picnic. Sadly, I don't know. Anyway, the police did challenge them, and I think they were moved on. So
were tasers involved?
Not that.
I do hope not.
They didn't challenge them quite that strictly.
No, I think words were said. I think advice was given out. So there we go.
I think this is the problem, because there is this kind of lack of clarity about exercise, isn't there? The advice is you can have an hour's exercise, and people will go out walking, and people I have seen go out cycling. But where do they draw the line? Because
that's
one man's
interesting.
exercise is another man's loitering.
Well, that's interesting because it's no secret I'm an open swimmer. Yeah, splash, splash. But I was looking into that yesterday because someone had asked me about swimming and, is it still okay to go swimming? So I thought, well, you want to be responsible, don't want to put anyone else at risk, or don't want to put myself at risk. But I think when you look at the government website, it does say, talks about daily exercise, and it suggests, it says, and for example, you could walk, cycle, or jog. It says, for example, so it's suggestions that forms of exercises. It doesn't say actually that sort of swimming's banned, but I think it's common sense. You're not going to put yourself at risk. You don't want to have the RNLI crews being called out and putting themselves at risk to sort of come and save you. So you just need to be really sensible. But exercise is exercise, and like you say, we all take our exercise in different ways.
So does that mean that
some of us pile rocks on ourselves, and
Does that mean that you can go swimming then, or not?
Well, it's open for debate.
That NLI have asked people not to, just for the fact that if you get into trouble and they get called out, they're putting themselves at risk.
Fair enough. Yeah.
They can't social distance when they're on a call. So so that's the problem. But yeah, as Cathy says, a lot of it's common sense.
Well, that's where I've got the problem, you see.
Ellis, your problem is you're not exercising apart from climbing walls.
I'm waiting him to swing that. Sorry, everybody, we can see Ellis here doing this. I'm waiting on him to swing the camera around, and I'm expecting this climbing wall now up one side of his room.
Here's an interesting thought, because they talk about taking your exercise and being responsible. But if you're going off and doing DIY, do you have to think about that a wee bit carefully? Because, if you're just doing a wee bit of painting, that's fine. But if you decide you're going up a ladder to clean out the gutters on the house, is that something we should all think about?
Yeah. Yeah.
I try not to think about DIY at any stage.
That is interesting, because my husband was up on our roof last week and I never gave it a thought.
You should have taken the ladder away, left him up there.
He was trying to get away from you, though, Fiona.
Probably, very, very probably.
But no, it's a good point, Steevie. Where do they draw the line? Because potentially everything's a risk, isn't it? I would like nothing more than to have a kind of a big walk out and a big drive around the coast, but I don't feel like I can do that under the rules, and I don't want to be sort of stopped at a checkpoint by armed guards saying that I can't do that, because that would ruin the entire experience, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would.
Anyway,
just stay in your room, Ellis.
Oh no! Go for a nice walk. There's plenty of nice walks round about Oban.
Plenty nice, safe walks around Oban, Ellis. So
yeah.
No DIY in the bedroom.
A dangerous walk. I want to go on a dangerous walk, though.
If you feel really daring, Ellis, roll your trouser legs up and go for a paddle.
Oh. And if Ellis is bouncing on the beds, then he might end up having to do some DIY in his room anyway. Be essential.
I think this is going down a track that we really don't want to think about. Oh dear. Fiona, what interesting things have you got for the weekend?
Well, I'm going back to the theatre. So I'm going to watch this week the Tailor of Inverness, which is written and performed by Matthew Zayak. Dogstar Theatre Online is making the performance available to the public. It's the first time they've done this, so you can get that through Vimeo on demand. They'll also release the film called Circling a Fox, which is the story of the Tailor of Inverness. So you're getting kind of both sides of the coin, and it's a deeply personal story which takes us on a journey from war-torn Poland and Ukraine to the Highlands of Scotland and back again. And I've had a sneaky look at the preview, and it really looks amazing and sounds amazing. Stevie, I think you've got a wee bit there for us to listen to.
I do.
I've been here 35 years now. Oh, they were supposed to be the great liberators or something. We didn't expect to be picked as quick and as hard as that. My grandmother Sophia, strong and kind with her handsome, generous, stoical face. I know the system! I wanted to go home, back to Poland. Now I am here. Am I a Ukrainian? A Russian? A Pole? I am from here.
I love that snip at the end.
I like the music. I
did. It kept reminding me. It reminds me of Fiddler on the Roof a wee bit. Steevie, you've been involved in Fiddler on the Roof.
just in a small way, yes. No, but it does have that feeling about it, and it seems to cover very similar areas.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you can catch the whole of that. That won't be over the weekend. I was cheating a wee bit. That's released on Monday the 11th. Is that right? It's the 11th Monday.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Stevie. Glad somebody's awake here. Yes, so you can catch that from Monday onwards, but it looks like it's going to be quite good.
Talking of theatre and entertaining folks, I've got a great idea that someone could do over the weekend.
Go on then.
Okay. Rockfield have come up next weekend. So not this weekend. Next weekend should be the big Eurovision Song Contest weekend. Obviously, that's been cancelled due to coronavirus. So the Rockfield Centre has come up with an idea for Open Vision. And what they want is people to make their own little videos, like spoof music videos, or it could be serious video of yourself with your pure talent coming up with something. So the idea is, check it out on Rockfield Facebook. But if you're looking for something to do this weekend, why don't you come up with your own entry for Open Vision? It's to help raise funds to keep the centre ticking over while the virus is still going on. But there's some really good prizes to be won. And how about this? A virtual haircut.
Wow.
Ellis, because I know you're worried about your hair.
How does that work then?
Well, if you're lucky enough to win, Ellis,
you have to enter to win it.
No, it's going to be a kind of, on-screen thing. It's a chap from Rutherford's hair salon in town, and he will be there on screen to guide you step by step how to snip your hair and make yourself look all gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
What could possibly go wrong?
So, Cathy, are you going to enter?
I don't know.
Come on, you've just given it a massive big up. You have to enter now.
We could enter an Open Times podcast team.
Yes, you could, couldn't you?
Yes, you could, Fiona.
Yes, we could.
Okay. Ellis and Stevie are part of the Open Times podcast team.
Yes, we are.
We could be like quite an old ABBA.
What do you mean, quite an old ABBA?
Oh, Brotherhood of Man, Ellis, please.
Brotherhood of Man. Bugs Fizz.
Bugs Fizz.
Or the womanhood of man, maybe.
Oh, for a night out with glitter balls and glitter and feather boas and wouldn't that be wonderful?
And alcohol.
Pure alcohol. That's right.
I think alcohol must have been involved here in this conversation. Cathy, you organise it and we'll do it.
Speak for yourself. I'll be bouncing on the bed. On my own.
I'll stick to chopping my beetroot.
Ellis, apart from bouncing on your bed, what's your plans for the weekend?
Absolutely nothing.
There's always one.
I am doing zilch.
That actually sounds good.
I just think, we shouldn't put pressure on ourselves to do anything at the weekend. We should do nothing. We should do nada. We should kick back, relax, and think about world peace. That's
a definite Eurovision Song Contest entry if ever I heard one.
I'm preparing my Eurovision Song Contest winners speech. No, seriously, I got chatting to a guy that lives next door. This is how exciting my life is. I've been talking about fishing. I've not been fishing.
Okay.
I would love to go fishing, but I've been talking to the chap next door about fishing. Where's the best places to go? What size rod do you need? What sort of bait do you need? Where you can go off the coast of around Auburn. So we've been kind of fantasizing about what it will be like when the restrictions are lifted and we will have the freedom to actually pack up a rod, get our sandwiches together and go fishing. Wouldn't that be a spectacular thing to do at a weekend?
Oh,
there we go, everybody. Fantasy fishing.
Fantasy fishing.
Fantasy
Love
fishing.
it.
Fantasy fishing. That's
It was
new
this
thing.
big. It was this big. It was.
Stevie, help us.
Okay,
Help us.
well, I'm off to the theatre too, because we've got from National Theatre. There's a theme with me, isn't it, National Theatre? But National Theatre are showing Antony and Cleopatra. Started yesterday, 7 days. Ralph Fiennes and Sophie Oquendo play Shakespeare's famous fated couple, it says. I think Shakespeare has a lot of fated couples, but just one set of the famous ones. Caesar and his assassins are dead. General Mark Antony now rules alongside his fellow defenders of Rome. But at the fringes of a worn-torn empire, the Egyptian queen Cleopatra and Mark Antony have fallen fiercely in love. And tragedy ensues. Would you like to hear a trail?
We'd love to hear it.
yes, please.
If it be love indeed, tell me how much?
There's beggary in the love that can be reckoned.
He calls me boy, and chides as he had power to beat me out of Egypt.
Sink Rome, and let their tongue rot that speak against us.
Oh, whither hast thou led me, Egypt?
Exciting stuff, huh, guys?
Oh, I think I might have to pay that a visit as well, Stevie.
So that's on National Theatre Live. If you go to their website, if you go to YouTube, you'll find lots of people trying to do their own live streams of it. So go to their website, otherwise you get taken down a rabbit hole you may never return from. And I've got one more thing. Anybody into art?
Yes.
That's good. I'm holding a sign up to Ellis because he forgets to unmute his microphone.
There
I
we
love
go.
art.
Let's do that again.
I absolutely love art.
Anybody into art?
Yes.
Good.
My middle name.
Okay. Now, this isn't in Scotland. This is all virtually online because everything's closed. You can't go to art galleries. But Hastings Contemporary Exhibition have got a wee robot that will wander round their gallery with a guide, and you'll be able to see all the exhibits. How does that sound?
Where's Hastings Gallery? Where is it?
Hastings.
Well, I'm assuming Hastings. I didn't get that far.
Hastings.
But what you've got to do, this company developed a robot, little wheels, little video camera, and the idea was that you would be able to take control of it and wander around and look at all kinds of things. I think they've decided against that because it's quite popular and they've got stairs and they don't want their wee robot to end up down them. So you have to book a slot now.
That kind of sounds like looking around an art gallery at the viewpoint of a kind of bomb finder, doesn't it?
A wee bit. except there's no bomb. And
No,
it's
but
an art gallery.
they do use robots to sort of go into war zones, don't they? To check things and look round at things. And why is everyone
The last time
pretending that isn't a thing?
The last time I looked, Hastings wasn't a war zone. Anyway, there's an exhibition by Quentin Blake who's just started up a new thing, so you can book if you're quick. Go onto their website, which I will put up along with this podcast because I haven't written it down. I'm so prepared, and you can book your tour if you fancy. Do you think that could work at War and Peace? Do you think we could introduce a wee robot to wander around the exhibition?
I think it's a great idea.
I'm thinking wartime bombs now.
No, it's just. Yeah, that's not happening.
No, I think it's a great. Don't get me wrong. I think they're using technology that's very similar to that. I think the idea that you could control a robot around a museum and look at the paintings, I think that's fantastic.
So you can stop it, and you can stop, and if you want to look at something closer, you'll be able to zoom in and then move off when you're ready.
But that was the original idea. I think because it's so popular, it's a tour now, so you maybe end up with 4 or 5 people, but you can request to zoom in and have a wee look. Anyway, it's worth Googling Hastings Contemporary Exhibition if you're interested.
I wonder if Kelvin Grove are doing anything at Glasgow, because that would be great. You could spend hours and hours and hours doing that, couldn't you?
Cathy, that's your homework. Ellis, you need to build the robot, and me and Fiona will take the tour.
Oh, thanks, Steevie. That's my weekend sorted.
Absolutely. Well, you were sounding too bored. Just make sure when you order online all the components, you don't mention the word bomb.
This is the thing. There's this kind of assumption that unless you're doing something, then you're bored. I'm quite happy just not doing anything at all.
Ellis, we know what else you can do. You know that book that you ordered?
I'm just in the moment. I'm just totally in the moment.
Ellis, that book that you ordered online, you could give that a read, seeing as it all arrived and it was in German.
Thanks for bringing that up. I was looking forward to that. I ordered this book on Amazon, and it was like really knocked down price, and it was a used copy. And I thought, I've been meaning to read this book again. And sure enough, it arrived on Saturday morning. I woke up, it's a nice big package waiting for me in the hallway. Postman's bin. And I sort of, oh wow, my book's come for the weekend. Dash outside, rip off the envelope, rip off the paper, the wrapping, my book's there, all in German.
Speak German, Ellis.
9.
Well, there's another thing you can do with your weekend, and
an online German course. We expect next week, Ellis, a little bit of German to come into the podcast.
I'm still working on English, mate.
Well, I think we've got loads to do this weekend, and we hope you have a cracking weekend too, everybody out there, whatever you're doing. But please stay safe. That's our important message to you. So we'll be back again next week. If you have any stories for us, it'll be great to hear from you. You can contact us on 01631 568000. Email us at editor@opentimes.co.uk or message us on Facebook. You can get copies of your OT from the petrol stations, supermarkets, newsagents. And while this coronavirus is carrying on, you can read all our stories for free online, or you can subscribe to the OT for 3 months. It's discount price of £4.80, and we would love you to do that, okay? Because we're here for you, and we're all in this together.
Steevie.
Yes.
Can we play out with a fiddler?
I'll add that in underneath.
So happy weekend, folks. It's goodbye from me, Cathy Griffiths.
Me, Fiona Scott.
Guten Tag from Ellis Butcher.
And goodbye from me, Stephen Day.
Well, Guten Tag means hello, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf
Wiedersehen.
Stay safe,
Auf
everyone.
Wiedersehen, pet.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.